Governors have a reason to smile after the Building Bridges Initiative task force supported proposals to increase the allocation to counties up from 15% to 35%. Now, in the report released this morning, the Controller of Budget was given the nod to disburse 50% of the equitable share in case of a standoff over the Division of Revenue bill. This a shot in the arm for the devolved units, which most recently threatened to shut down over a protracted dispute at the Senate. Let's get more from our very own Chemutai Goin on what the goodie bag has.
Excellency, the President.
Devolution was hailed as one of the greatest compromises of the 2010 Constitution, as it reconfigured balance of power by devolving power and resources down to areas that had for years remained in the shadows. And following the handshake which kick-started the process of auditing the Constitution, devolution was once again one of the key discussion points.
Kabidhiwa Mheshimiwa Rais, tumpongeze anapoipokea.
And today, as the final report was handed over to the proponents, amid proposals for costing of functions to be done to help determine resource allocation to the devolved units, there was a lot to smile about. The task force approving calls to increase the allocation to counties from 15% to 35%. This will go a long way in resolving the push and pull between the two levels of government over the shareable revenue and quell the cries of governors over insufficient resources. However, the monies will largely be determined by how much the national government raises. Counties have since been urged to reduce reliance on the exchequer. And to ensure service delivery in the devolved units is not hampered in case of a prolonged dispute over the Division of Revenue bill, as witnessed the past few months, the task force recommended that the Controller of Budget be granted the authority to disburse up to 50% of the equitable share to aid operations. The report further proposing the amending of Article 180 of the Constitution to ensure that anyone contesting for the position of governor selects a deputy governor from the opposite gender. This part of the plan to ensure the attainment of the two-thirds gender principle, with the further proposal to formulate the Devolution Laws Amendment Bill 2020 to insert a clause that will require governors to assign their deputies county executive committee portfolios. At the moment, deputy governors have no roles assigned and work at the mercy of their bosses. To counter the infighting between governors and members of the County Assembly, the task force recommended the establishment of a ward development fund to be used to carry out development projects in the various wards. Governors required to set aside 5% of its revenue every financial year for the kitty. The report further seeking to regularize the transfer of functions of the Nairobi City County Government to the national government by amending Article 200 of the Constitution. The National Assembly tasked with formulating the necessary legislation. To end the tokenism associated with nominations to the County Assembly, the task force recommended the amending of Article 177 on the membership to require political parties nominate only members of the County Assembly who contested the election, with priority given to those who were defeated with the lowest margin.
This is a document that is for 50 million Kenyans.
The conversation is now beginning, and I'm sure shortly we are going to be able to get a consensus.
Kenyans are now expected to review the report even as the stage is set for the referendum. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV, Nairobi.